My name is Sofia. I am 28 years old. I live in Seattle, a city of rain, coffee, and quiet mornings. I work in a small bakery near the harbor. I love my job. I enjoy meeting people, smelling fresh bread, and serving warm pastries. That's where I met Ethan, my husband. He came in every morning before work. He always ordered the same thing, a caramel latte and a chocolate muffin. One day, he smiled and said, "Good morning. You make the best coffee in Seattle." I laughed. That was how it began. We started talking every day. He was kind. He made me laugh. After a few weeks, he asked for my number. We started texting. Then we went out for dinner. It felt easy and warm, like I had known him forever. After 6 months, he asked me to meet his parents. Their names were Margaret and Robert. They lived in a quiet neighborhood outside the city. When we arrived, they looked at me with cold eyes. They said hello, but their smiles were thin. I brought them a box of cookies from the bakery. Margaret took it and said nothing. I tried to talk, but every question I asked had short answers. I felt small, like I didn't belong. When we left, I asked Ethan, "Do they like me?" He said, "They're just a bit shy. Don't worry." I wanted to believe him. 2 months later, we got married. It was a small wedding. My parents were smiling. My friends were laughing. But Ethan's parents looked bored. They didn't smile in the photos. They didn't hug me. They just stood at the back. After the wedding, we moved into their house just for a while, Ethan said. We wanted to save money. At first, I thought it would be fine, but it wasn't. Margaret never talked to me. Robert said only a few words. When I cooked breakfast, she cooked again after me. When I cleaned, she said I missed a spot. One day, I heard her on the phone. She said, "I don't know why Ethan married that girl. She works in a bakery. She's not good enough." My heart broke. That night, I told Ethan. He sighed and said, "You probably misunderstood." But I didn't. I knew what I heard. Days passed. Nothing changed. I did everything, cooking, cleaning, laundry, and no one said thank you. One Sunday, my parents visited. They brought flowers and cake. They were happy to see me. But Margaret stayed in her room. Robert said hello and left. I felt ashamed. Later, I asked Ethan, "Why are they so cold to me?" He said, "Please don't make it a big deal." But it was a big deal. Then I got sick. I had a fever. Margaret came in and said, "Are you really sick or just lazy?" She walked away. That night, Ethan gave me soup. He stayed for a little while, then went to eat with his parents. I felt forgotten. Weeks passed. I heard them whispering. "She doesn't belong here," Margaret said. Robert replied, "She's not what we hoped for." I stood by the door and cried quietly. When I told Ethan again, he said, "Please stop complaining." I realized then, the man who once made me laugh no longer defended me. One evening I made dinner, chicken, rice, and salad. They ate without a word. I sat alone afterward, staring at my plate, feeling invisible. That night, I cried and thought about leaving. I missed my home. I missed feeling safe. Days turned into weeks. Nothing changed. Then, one day, I took a pregnancy test. It was positive. I was going to be a mother, I told Ethan. He smiled a little and said, "We should tell my parents." When we did, Margaret said, "It's too soon." Robert said, "You should have waited." No joy. No congratulations. But I stayed strong. My mom came to visit later. She brought soup and soft socks. She hugged me. She said, "You don't have to stay where you're not loved." Her words stayed in my heart. That night, I told Ethan, "I need to move out. I need peace." He said, "This is our home." I said, "No, this is your parents' home, not mine." The next morning, I packed my bag. I went back to my parents' house. They welcomed me with open arms. I slept better. I ate well. I started to smile again. Ethan sent messages. "Please come back," I said. "I need time." Margaret called once. She said, "You're weak." I replied, "No, I'm strong enough to leave." Weeks later, Ethan came to visit. He said, "I'm sorry. I didn't protect you. I told my parents they were wrong." I looked at him and said, "I can't go back there." He said, "You don't have to. Let's find our own place." 2 weeks later, we moved into a small apartment. Just 2 rooms, but it felt like freedom. Ethan cooked breakfast. We laughed again. Slowly, love returned. When our baby girl, Lily, was born, Margaret came to the hospital. She looked at Lily and said, "She looks like Ethan." Then, after a pause, "You're a good mother." For the first time, her voice was soft. At home, Ethan helped with everything. He held Lily, changed the diapers, and sang softly when she cried. Life wasn't perfect, but it was peaceful. One night, I looked at him and said, "Thank you for choosing me." He smiled and said, "I didn't choose you. I was lucky you chose me." Now Lily is 3 months old. She cries, she smiles, she keeps us awake, but she fills our hearts with light. Sometimes I think about the past, the pain, the loneliness, but now I feel strong. I stopped waiting for love from people who don't care. I started giving love to myself, to my child, to my new life. This is my story. I hope it helps someone find courage and the strength to begin again.